There we go. Forgot which one I was muting. Oh, and here we are. It is Monday, and I've got my coffee. Made a double cup of coffee. Probably shouldn't need it. Shouldn't be drinking it. It's already 7 o'clock at night. I already have a problem sleeping. But I'm tired, so I need coffee. Anyway, so that's how we're doing it. Welcome, everybody. Today, kind of had a little bit of a idea about how the day was going to go. Mostly about vlogging and what I've been doing lately, which is why I haven't done very many videos. But, you know, it is what it is. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always hit me up anyway. So, today, let's see. I really didn't get any videos out last week, and part of that is because I've been putting in a lot of time on the 4 blogs that I maintain now. That's not including the stuff I do for Green Geeks. So I'm really busy. And I did have a video planned out for Wednesday, and it fell through because the plugin I was going to demonstrate and show you how to use didn't work. So instead of trying to wing it, figured, nah, I'll wait until you fix it, and then we'll do a proper tutorial on it. But I should have shaved. Yeah. Anywho, so I've been putting a lot of effort into the blogs, trying to do as much content as I can. So I'm trying to maintain a publishing schedule for most of them, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and it's been doing pretty good. I can write. So that's where all that has been landing. And the reason why I don't put as much effort into the YouTube videos as I do the blogs is because the blogs pay me and the YouTube channel doesn't. And I did, and you always have to like stick to what gives you money, you know? Like if you have a regular job and you have the opportunity to do something special or something different, but it doesn't pay, stick to the paycheck. Well, I'm hoping that one of these days that channel will grow into something bigger, but until then, I got to maintain my bills. And the work I do, freelance writing and managing a team of writers is what pays the bills. So, and I do have some ideas for getting some more time squared away for more videos, but at the moment, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to do. Like I said, Wednesday, I was all excited. Was going to do 4 different ways to install Buy Me a Coffee on your website, but one of the plugins I was going to show, stopped working altogether. So I have to figure that one out. Then I did have something planned for today, but I got sidetracked having to do some house stuff, and then I got caught up doing some client work. So it was pretty late by the time I was able to get a break. I just finished eating dinner like a little bit ago. Got everything set up for the stream, so needless to say, I'm freaking tired. Aside from that, God, I fucking itch. A bug bite or something. Aside from that, yeah. Oh, I did want to go over something about blogging, like using AdSense. Now, one of the most, well, I can't say watched, but one of the most viewed videos on my channel is the understanding the concept of AdSense when you're trying to make with 1,000 visitors. And it's also the one that gets the worst dislikes. And I think part of that is because nobody likes it when you tell them the truth. AdSense alone is a very, very poor way to make money on a blog, but it's still usable. It's wicked easy to add, and you don't really have to do anything but write. Same thing with affiliates, though. So with AdSense, though, the reason why I put more effort into blogging than I do with content mills is because you can make a lot more per article in the long term. So like with a content mill, you can get paid. Let's say we write a 1,000-word article, you can get paid in Text Broker a 3-star $10, instant pay. You're done. But what if you wrote an article that could bring in $36 for the same amount of words? And that's what I did with one of my blog posts on Colorado Plays. Is that back in 2018, I wrote an article, attached AdSense to it, and it brought in, well, it brought in the 3607 so far. That's since it's been published in 2018. It's 1,000, I think it's 1,024 words. So right there already I'm getting more than 3 cents a word. So that's part of why I put more effort into blogging than I do for content mails, is because in the long term you can make more money. But you also have to make sure that you write something that people want to read. Now, that one article that's paid me $36 has done great, but the majority of the content on the website, not so much. Like, it still generates some money, but there's like top 4 or 5 articles that bring in enough to pay for the hosting and the domain names and all that other stuff. So nothing's coming out of my pocket. So you got to make sure that you write something that people want to read, and that's where a lot of people, experts, fall short. I think is that they hype up using AdSense and affiliates and getting your digital products and selling your own stuff and all that other good stuff, but they don't really break down that it takes a lot of effort and a lot of work to understand your audience and to give them what they want. And that's one thing that pisses me off about a lot of people on YouTube. Like, there's a reason why most bloggers, they do not rely purely on AdSense. In fact, there's a lot of YouTubers that don't either. And that's because AdSense pays crap in comparison. And you can have 400 and some odd articles on your website. If you're not writing something nobody wants to read, you're not going to make any money on it. And that's true whether you're using AdSense or not. So it all comes down to being able to engage an audience. And nobody can really teach you how to do that. They can show you tips. I can demonstrate ways to find good topics and show you how to use some of the tools, but it still comes down to you creating the content. Because if you can't write, no one's going to read it. And if they do, if you have a hard time maintaining a solid thought, then you're more likely going to lose that audience anyway. So it all boils down to how well you can engage an audience. That's what it's all about. So when all these YouTubers start hyping stuff up, and I wish I had as much energy as most of those guys, it irks me because they fill a lot of people with these false hopes that AdSense is the end-all be-all, and it's not. It's been, well, let's see, that one article I've had up since 2018. That was actually one of the first articles I wrote for that blog, actually. I started that gaming site in 2018. And there's quite a few. I do a lot of tutorials on how to use OBS, which is what I use for the recording of my YouTube channel, and XSplit. And I'm going to expand into some other systems. So it's more, I wanted it to be a gaming site, but it turned out to be more of a tutorial site. So I'm going to have to work to change that a little bit. But that's what it comes down to, is delivering stuff that is searchable, popular, and that you can write better than the other guy. Because no matter what niche you pick, you're going to have a ton of competition. Like with Colorado Plays, it centers more around gamifying fitness, video games, how to stream on Twitch, stuff like that. And there's thousands of sites that are just like it. So I have to go through and figure out how I can explain things better, show people how to do things a lot better than the other guys, and write in a manner that's more understandable, really. And it takes quite a bit of effort to get to that point. I've been writing freelancing for professionally since 2012. I am really sorry. I am like exhausted as all hell. I need a new bed. That's why I should change my goal for buy me a coffee, get me a mattress. Anyway, so I've been writing professionally since 2012, and I've been maintaining a team for my clients. and we've more than doubled their traffic, and we're talking tens of thousands of visitors a month. I only wish I had their numbers. Hey Diana, how's it going? I was wondering if you're going to show up today, because I know that you had things going. So I wish caffeine had the same effect on me as it does other people. Essentially, it maintains me. It doesn't wake me up. It just makes sure I don't get a headache. But, and I lost my train of thought. That's how tired I am. So if I seem kind of flighty tonight, more than normal, that's because I went to bed at 12:30, and I slept like crap on that mattress. It's hard as a rock, which goes to show that you're having a good sleep pattern makes a huge difference on your day. But anyway, what was I talking about? Creating content. Yeah. So, yeah, that's why I don't, I still do take a look at content mills, but I would rather, like in 2016, I started thinking to myself, I'm tired of being a ghostwriter. I don't mind getting paid like instantly. Good, 4 stars. I get for 1,000 words, I'm getting $14. It takes me less than an hour to do. No problem. But then I started getting to the point where, I want to be more than just a ghostwriter. And so that's when I started exploring more into Wattpad and publishing my own stuff. And I started dumping more effort into blogging in general, mostly because of what I just showed you, is that I can make, that's not the only article I've done where it's made $30+ for 1,000 words. And that's the trade-off, is that content mills will pay you right now, but if you can wait for a year or two, then you'll wind up making like 4 or 5 times more. And that article is still generating traffic and making money. So this time next year, it might have made me $40. So that's what the game's all about, is making sure you can keep up that content, write something evergreen, and keep the income coming. And don't get me wrong, like I said, content mills gave me my start. They're great to start off with as a beginner, but always keep your eye open for other opportunities. And for me, it was blogging. Now, I had my web hosting account from back when I had my computer center, which was in 2008. And I had it for 4 years. I had to shut down in 2012, and I figured I'm going to go ahead and keep the hosting alive, simply because everything in my life evolves around that email address, and I use my computer center's email address on everything, including Dexbroker. And I didn't want to screw anything up or have to go through and remember which ones I had to change. So I just said, yeah, I'll just leave it. It's only $120 a month. Maybe I can't, or not a month, a year. So I figured maybe I can turn something into it. So that's why I started blogging on it. I started Writer Sanctuary, Crossing Colorado, Colorado Plays, now Practically Living Green, which I've got some articles on now. And so normally I'll dump something if it costs out of pocket. No matter what business you're in, if your business is costing you money, you're doing something wrong. A business should always pay for itself. Except for at the very beginning, obviously you need to put some money into it. But if you're having to do that every month for like a year, then there's something wrong with it. And after about a year, all the blogs together were bringing in enough to pay for the web hosting and the domain names. So I'm not really wasting any money. Time, on the other hand, it takes me quite a bit. Not so much really. 2 hours a day, which is, for me, it's a hobby now. To be honest, I almost forgot, but I'm glad I remembered. Awesome. Yeah, I shared it on social, I thought. Yeah. I fed it through Buffer. That's all right. I am not all there, so this is probably not going to be a very long live stream. I know I said that last time too. Last time I thought it was going to be only a 20-minute video, and it wound up being almost 2 hours. So I guess it really depends on how many people come in and start chatting. Because that's what I thrive on when it comes to live shows like this, even on Twitch, is viewer engagement. I like to chat. I like to have fun. I like to talk to people. So if none of that's happening, it's no longer fun for me. So, like, I think my shortest live stream was the last year. It was showing you how to use Asana, how to set up Asana for maintaining schedules and stuff. And that one turned out to be like a 25-minute live stream. Nobody said a damn word. So they had like 5 people watching, but nobody was really chatting. And it drives me nuts because I thrive on interaction. Guess that's just, I don't know. I'm trying not to be negative. So I'm not going to be negative. I'm going to drink my coffee and be happy. That's freaking hot. So, anywho. So I did start on Practically Living Green, getting content. No, don't leave. Oh, I'm not going to. I've got my coffee. And at least one person's talking to me. So as long as one person's chatting, I'm a trooper. Like there was one time on Twitch, I streamed for 3 hours chatting with one person. And that's fine. That's what I'm about. I like interacting with people. And so even if one person's watching, it's not a waste to me. I'm playing the game anyway. So, and the way I figure is that even with one person watching my YouTube channel, my live streams, then that's still being recorded by YouTube. So it still helps my numbers, watch time numbers. So it's all good. The only time I feel like I'm going to leave, though, is when people aren't saying a damn thing. And, you know, sometimes it's fine. Like during the Asana thing, I'm hoping that maybe I taught somebody how to use something. But I don't know. It just, I don't know if I could do the live, not live streams. I was going to do WordCamp Denver this year, but like I said before, is that the cutoff date, I didn't know if I was going to have a house at the time, and they needed all that stuff, all that information. I was still at the hotel, and I'm like, I have no idea if I can do this, so I didn't do it. But I don't know if I can just do a webinar without having that interaction. So, in case you haven't noticed from the previous streams, I tend to ramble. I ramble a lot, more than I should. Anyway, with Practically Living Green, my blogging experiment, I have started getting content on it. Now, I'm not getting the blogging everyday experiment that I wanted to run, simply because I'm doing so much content for Writer Sanctuary, Colorado Plays, and Crossing Colorado. And I just started helping out with Green Geese's YouTube channel. I got their video uploaded. Really cool webinar by Marco Baracol. He shows you how to do the basics of WordPress. So those are up. All I did was did the thumbnail, which is kind of basic, and then the video description helped him out with a little bit of the optimization on it. So we'll see. But here's something. Here's a spot of cool for you. Now, I think I've pointed this out before. I did, didn't I? Oh, yeah, I did in the last live stream because Chris was here. Yeah, because I did text broker tips in Google. I own that. Anyway. So that's what I'm hoping to do with their videos. So I guess we'll find out. But anyway, aside from that, I'm working on Practically Living Green. So I've been going through and doing some articles on that. And I haven't really marketed it. It's in Google, but I haven't really collected enough data yet to see if anybody's searching for stuff like that. But I have had a few visitors already, and it's kind of exciting. So 4 articles, and I've got 4 visitors on 3 of the pages. So, and I don't have a social account for it yet either. So that's kind of exciting. Which means I'm wondering, I have to look through analytics, but I'm wondering if people are finding Practically Living Green through either my personal blog of michaelbrockbank.com or maybe even Writer Sanctuary, because I have linked to both of them from both sites. So, I don't know. I haven't looked at the data. I just saw today that there was 4 views. So, and that could also be bots. So, still, even if there's a attention from a bot, it might be worthwhile. Yeah. So I'm trying to get it done every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm working on one right now. I'm in the middle of why sustainability is important. And then Writer Sanctuary, I've got 3 posts already scheduled to publish this week. Colorado plays. I have to do something for tomorrow. I kind of screwed my schedule up all over hell, so still having to try to figure out what I'm going to do with that so far, and just going to fall back on more tutorials, I guess. That's one of the hardest parts about being so tired, is that you don't get a lot of ideas. You're like, the only thing you can think about is, I want to go to bed. It's like at 4:30, I had to call it a day. I had a headache. I need to turn the brightness down on my monitor. But I had a headache and I was just done. And I just wanted to... All I wanted to do was play Minecraft and veg out. So... Which we played Minecraft yesterday on Twitch. That was fun. We're playing with my children. My girls. And they only killed themselves a handful of times. It's still fun. That's all I wanted to do today. I think I'm just getting... I'm not really burned out. I'm just tired. That's what it is. I have no doubt that if I was to get a decent bed, it'd be a different story. But I have a bunch of stuff to pay, so... Oh, look. I'm losing concurrent viewers. It's all good. Normally when I'm like this, I'm really not that much fun. And my mind is just mush. Anyway, so back to blogs. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to go over. Mostly it's just setting up the blogs. Getting some really nice articles coming up, I think. So I'm excited for those. See how well those do in Google search. Especially one with showing the difference between how AdSense really works, especially when you have like niche websites. Now, the reason why nobody can tell you exactly that you'll make X amount of money with AdSense is because every niche and every topic are different. And the blog post that comes out on Friday has a screenshot of what I mean by it. So, like Corsair is a popular gaming developer for like keyboards and mice and memory and stuff. And so I put in a search for the Corsair K95 Platinum RGB keyboard, which is what I have. It's a $200 keyboard, really nice. It has all kinds of fun bells and whistles. So the high end for AdWords, which is I guess Google Ads now, is what AdSense uses as Google AdWords. The high end of that was like $3 and something cents. I can't remember exactly. It's in the screenshot. But if you looked up keto diet, the Jenna Jameson keto diet gets up to $23 for the high end bid on it, which means that if somebody was to click on that ad, the person would make 15 something on it. That's like incredible. So that's the difference between niche, is that a gaming keyboard for the gaming niche just doesn't have a lot of ad revenue behind it, but something like the Jenna Jameson keto diet, whatever the hell that is, has a lot of money behind it. So every blog, every niche is going to make something different. And I make a lot of mistakes. Yeah. Oh, Queen Adams. Don't we all, though? I make quite a few myself on a regular basis, especially when I'm tired. Oh, man. So at least I'm able to edit. And you know how hard it is to edit somebody else's work when you're half asleep? If it wasn't for Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid, I probably would have screwed up all over the place. Those two together. I don't know if I like using both of them at the same time, because the whole screen fills up with lines of things you need to fix in a text, and it's like maddening. A lot of them find the same thing, so it's not too bad. But on days like today, if it wasn't for having those extensions installed in Chrome, the articles coming out this week would have sucked. But it is what it is. Anyway, with the niche site, that's what it is that you'll make different amounts depending on the industry. Like the health and fitness industry throws way more money into their ads than the gaming industry does. That's the way it is. For some reason, well, I can't say some reason, but there's a lot of people that are into the keto diet right now, and so the average bid rate on Google Ads is stupid high in comparison to anything for Corsair or what else did I search? I think I looked up a lot of Apple stuff, just trying to get a basis of different things. And the reason why I use Google Ads, the keyword planner, it's free, but it shows you how much the high-end bid is for keywords in an advertisement. And that's good if you want to create your own ads, but it's also good if you're creating content, because you can get an idea of how much money they're throwing at that keyword. So if you can figure out a piece of content in your blog that matches that $1 or that matches that key phrase, you have the potential to make a much higher slice of the percentage from whatever the click is worth. But if you target low-end key phrases like I do with Writer Sanctuary, because there's just not enough money dumped into teaching people how to be a freelance writer or content mills, or WordPress for that matter, or blogging. Like none of those, like the high-end bid rate on anything that is related to what Writer Sanctuary does is like $1 something. So I'll never make a ton of money from Writer Sanctuary, at least not from AdSense. Now I have been adding more affiliates to it, and I plan on doing way more with it, but just from AdSense alone, it's really hard to make a lot of money. Unless you're into the keto. If you're into keto diet, or you can find some more trending topics that people are just dumping money into. And if you can write some stellar content around that, oh yeah, you could probably make some bank. If you can get to that point. Like I said, it all comes down to how you write content and who your audience is. But then you start adding stuff like affiliates and your what's another one? E-commerce of some kind, selling digital goods. I'm still debating on writing a book, an ebook, and selling it off the website. I just don't know what to write an ebook about mostly. It's because, everything I learn, I've already done in a video or wrote a blog post about. So I've never been one to profit off of my knowledge. I'm like, if I know it, I'm going to teach you how to do it. So I don't know what I'd write an ebook about. Maybe the convenience of sticking everything together. I don't know. Every time I think about it, I feel guilty about it, because I've always been one to give away knowledge for free. So, hey Joel, I'll speak up. I haven't for a while. Blogs. Somebody says that solid marketing and audience research and steady weekly posting will end up with $50 a day after a year with Mediavine and AdThrive. Now those I have been kind of toying with changing it up a bit instead of just centering on AdSense. The problem is that when you have your blog going, a lot of people that want to start a blog also have a full-time job, or they have families that they take care of, and so they don't really have a lot of time to dump into all these big extravagant things that some 21-year-old did in college. And I don't know, I'm thinking about trying them, but it's like right now I'm just trying to maintain the 3 blog posts a week, because I read an article where if you do that for a year, then you're almost guaranteed to make $10,000 at least for that year. Like, whatever. It's not just blogging, it's the content. He writes about cocktails. I have no idea if he's right. Display ads, yeah. Cocktails, probably. When I ran the liquor store in Iliff, we got a lot of traffic just from the recipes for liquor. Because I'd put up recipes for different drinks, and we actually got quite a bit of traffic from it. So if he's writing about cocktails on how to make them and all that, I can see that probably making a pretty penny. But as for display ads, like I'm not sure how those work. I haven't really used anything outside of AdSense, but I'm definitely interested in trying it. I have been looking through ClickBank. I just can't find anything that fits Writer Sanctuary. The same with ShareASale. All the affiliates I've got so far from ShareASale. CJ.com, they require that you have to have a sale inside of 90 days, otherwise they cancel your account and you have to start all over with the process. So when I had my tablet site up 10 years ago, I was actually making decent money from it, but then tablets kind of, they were the big fad and then they kind of died off. So at that time, I was working for the school district, and it was right before, I think it was right before, no. It was shortly after I started Textbroker. Because I was at the school district when I did it both. But then it just I got too much, and so I just let it die. But, so I don't know about Mediavine and AdThrive. I've heard things about quite a few good things about AdThrive, so that might be something I could take a look at. But that's for AdSense, yeah. Unless I calculated based on the past from January 1st of this year through July 31st. Based on the amount of traffic I get to the website, how often people click, and how much money I make per click, I would get just shy of $2,000 if I got 1 million views. That's a lot. So that's why you don't just focus on AdSense. And there's even on YouTube, there's no YouTuber that makes it a big success focusing purely on AdSense. You've got sponsored posts, affiliate sales, stuff like that. So, and I'm a little bit more anal than most when it comes to sponsored posts. Like I keep getting asked on Writer Sanctuary. Well, see, one wanted to pay me, I think it was $50 to do just a short blurb about their social proof platform. In other words, you buy views and subscribers, and I don't believe that kind of stuff, so I told them no. And this last one wanted $100, and they didn't tell me what the content was about, but they are a marketing group, and from what I researched, it looks kind of legit. But, and this is a big but, they didn't use their official email address when they contacted me. It was from a Gmail account, and I have a strict guideline about Gmail. If you're going to offer me a sponsored post, do not do it from a Gmail account or Hotmail or Yahoo or anything else that's web-based. And yes, I do look beyond just the reply stamp on the email. I will actually go through and see exactly what server it comes from. So I'm really, really anal when it comes to some of my websites. Now, if I was like a bunch of other people and just accept the money and run, then yeah, I'd probably make a lot more, but I don't. So someone on Fiverr could probably type up the information on your video so that you can have a book. I used to write articles from transcribed sermons. Nice. But that's the key. That's the kicker right there, is that having somebody else write for me. I'm a writer. I don't want to pay somebody else to write for me, but when I don't have much time, I need to start delegating, I think. I have some people that want to help me with like the Practically Living Green, Colorado Plays, and Crossing Colorado. So I need to just quit being so anal and let them help, because I can't do it all. And I've been pushing to see how much I can do. And yeah, there's no way I could add any more projects to what I've got. At least not without letting something go, because it's just, I got too much. But I don't know if I could afford to hire another writer. I don't know if I would use Fiverr or Textbroker, only because I know how much the cut is for those systems. And I get it. They have to make their own money too. But I think I would rather look for a private person or a private writer and sign a contract. That way they make more of the money, and it's a lot easier to work with them that way. But for like short blurbs, like maybe a listicle of 10 things you can do with WordPress, stuff like that, then I could probably do contact mails. Only because I can just slap it up there and get it back real quick. So yeah. But as for writing up my book, it's not that I don't have time to write the book. It's just that I feel guilty if I do, because like I said before, I don't believe in charging people for my knowledge. If I know how to do something, I'd rather teach you how to do it than get paid for it. And I know that's not the capitalist way to think, but it's just how I am. I've always been that way. If I can help you, I will. God, I used to drive people in LA nuts. Like, LA is way different than Denver. Tim Ferriss' 4-hour work week is all about delegating. Yeah, as long as you can afford to pay him, though. That's just it. It's like, I can delegate all I want, but if I'm not paying anybody, they're not going to do it. So I need to get to a point where I can delegate. And that's what I'm working on. But in LA, there was the people I was hanging out with, they would charge for everything. So like, I was staying in an Airbnb and they offered, they'll pay me an extra $50. They'll pay me $50 a week if I vacuumed or something. And I'm like, well, I'm staying here. I'll vacuum anyway. And don't even worry about it. And it threw them all for a loop because everything in LA centers around what you can do for money for somebody else. And that's not how I am. I mean, it was like a girl I was dating kept wanting to pay me for random stuff. I'm like, I'm here anyway. Keep your money. Well, they only transcribe your videos? Well, yeah, but I don't know if my videos would work well as a book. So, I don't know. And some of them aren't too bad, but I try. And there's a reason why I do a ton of jump cuts. I'm debating on trying something different. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out on Wednesday. Wednesday and Friday, I'm going to try hard to get out more videos. I really wanted to do that buy me a coffee one. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that fixed. And I do want to show the process of how I write an article for Textbroker. And we have the whole mock-up ready to go. All I have to do is sit down and record it. Wanted to do it this weekend, but I got sidetracked with... I took Saturday off and did nothing but play Fallout 4. And then Sunday, I played Minecraft with the girls, and I played Fallout 4, and then I cleaned house. So I was kind of productive. Well, they would transcribe all your videos, and you would edit them. Well, that could probably work. But like I said, I don't know if I would do a book that way. Everything's available already. Probably, see, and then I would fall back on trying to sell it, and that's where the issue is that I don't know if I could sell something. Like, I was debating on doing classes. So the Bible says that the laborer is worthy of his hire. Yeah. Still, that's not how I roll. I make enough money to where I don't have to worry about my bills. So that's probably one reason why I don't put so much effort into marketing the YouTube channel or marketing the blogs, is because I do have an income, and I have a very nice income. So I don't need anything more than what I got. And I was talking to my friend today, and I was telling her that I don't need to drive a Bugatti. I'm happy with the van that I have in the driveway. I have everything I could need. And there's a few things that'd be kind of cool to have, like a bed. But those are things I can save up for and buy eventually. So, I don't know. I guess I just look at things a little bit differently than a lot of people. There's been a few times where I thought I could probably set up a Udemy class for a lot of stuff with WordPress, maybe freelance writing. I think Chris or Ron, or even I think maybe it might have been Joel. Somebody was telling me that I should do a class on, I think it was Udemy, for freelance writing and using content mills. That I could probably do. I could probably set something up and be as detailed as possible. So I don't know why I can't just write a book that way. I don't know. I would have to have time to do that. I don't know. I like the idea of making do with being good at something and just keeping where that goes on. It is understandable. Yeah. Well, it's like I'm not down on anybody who wants to make money on their skill. I mean, if you have it and someone's willing to pay you for it, fucking sell it. But that's just not how I am, and it's all personal preference. And I might eventually do something. It's like right now I'm having the hardest time trying to come up with something for Buy Me a Coffee to where, to me, what is worth $5 a month for someone to join a membership? I have no idea. I don't know how to put a price on what I provide. Now, like with freelance writing, it's a bit different because then you have quantifiable numbers that you can do. Like I can tell a client, I will write this article for you for such and such per word, or a per hour rate, or even if you get signed on a retaining contract for a year. Those are all quantifiable things. But for just having a membership with Buy Me a Coffee, I'm at a loss at what's worth $5 a month, you know? Just helping, just keeping. Yeah. That's what it all boils down to for me, is that I get more of a thrill off someone telling me this is exactly what I needed, thank you, than any dollar amount. So, I don't know. I guess I'm just weird. I'm not a Republican. Let's not get political now. But, yeah, it's like when I ran, God, every instance of every business I've ever ran, like the computer center, I was paid, in some cases, less than my employees. As long as I was able to pay my bills, I gave the rest of the money to the people who worked under me. The liquor store, I didn't need to rack the price up, so I was one of the cheapest in town because, well, all my bills are paid. That's how I look at everything I've ever done, is that, am I able to still pay my bills and have a little bit of extra for some fun stuff? Yeah. What the hell is that? Oh, look. Is that my client telling me, please help me? No, that's one. I'm not going to worry about that right now. They can wait till tomorrow. And Fitbits tell me I'm elbow and elbow against somebody with the steps. Oh, don't do that. And then somebody in my house is watching Netflix. I can pause a video. That'd be rude. And then Philip DeFranco tweeted something. Oh, about his hoodies. Hoodies? Hoodies? I don't know. Say it. I don't wear them. I like hoodies, but to an extent, I generate an incredible amount of body heat, so wearing something that thick would just make me sweat. Which is why I don't wear sweaters in the middle of winter either. I'm just always a hot person. Like right now, I'm like, oh, man. So I guess in the end, I probably hold myself back from monetarily successful more than anything, because I don't need extravagance. I'm happy. I have a nice home. I can afford my home. And I'm in a lucky position where every job I've ever had has been sustainable. In fact, more busy during recessions. The last recession, 2008, the computer center actually made a lot of money during that time. And part of that is because while the other guys in town were charging $75 an hour to do antivirus cleaning, I only charged for the amount of time we actually sat down and worked at your computer. So like our software would be running, I wouldn't be charging for that because we're not doing anything. While that virus scan is running, we're working on something else. So we only charged for the amount of time we actually sat at the computer working on it. Sometimes it turned out to be like 10 minutes. So even we would provide the same service as somebody else for $75 an hour, and they would charge them like an hour or two worth of work, so they're making like $200 or $300. We would make, I think I charged one person, the most I charged for an antivirus cleaning was like $20 something. That's because we only spent like 5 minutes at the computer. So, because we're not sitting there just watching the computer. We're letting it scan, do its thing. We're doing other projects. If something needed our attention, we come back to it and go back on the clock. But for the most part, nah. And I've always been that way. So like when I come down to doing the buy me a coffee thing on the blogs, what is worth $5 a month? And I don't know. So that's where I'm at with that. Aside from that, the affiliates are kind of cool. I've actually been getting quite a few clicks on the Pro Writing Aid thing. And that's Pro Writing Aid is kind of like an alternative to Grammarly. They both work really well. I think I'm starting to like Pro Writing Aid a little bit more though, because it's got a lot of cool features to it. The editing system that you can use that's free is pretty detailed. It only scans up to the first 500 words though. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And that's for the browser-based edition. Like if you install the Chrome extension like you do with Grammarly, then it'll scan the entire document. But copy and pasting into the editor only scans the first 500 words, so it's kind of a bummer on that side of it for being free. But the free extension works great. I like it quite a bit. It does kind of get irritating a little bit, but it's good. Excuse me, Joseph, the $5 a month could just be like a Patreon thing. See, that's what I was thinking, but then I would feel like I need to add some kind of value to it. And right now I was thinking about doing a daily like a daily vlog type thing. Not really a vlog, but like a daily post behind the scenes type thing of all the stuff I do in the mornings as a freelancer, what I do as a blogger, stuff like that. And I don't know, that's the only thing I can come up with. And I'm like, God, is that really worth $5 a day or $5 a month? So it's there. But I'd feel like I would need to add a little bit something more to it. So that's what I was thinking. I wonder if I can do some creative work. Because right now I'm not really known for being creative on YouTube or on the blog. It's mostly been text broker and content mills. And so that's why I've been trying to explore a little bit more into what I do, like with the blogging, the grammar part of writing, definitely being creative. I got to get 7 done. I should have been doing this whole week because I would love to get that published. But doing stuff like that would probably be kind of cool, especially if I'm like real serious about publishing my next, or even 7. If I take 7 out of Wattpad, I'm going to be exploring, going way beyond with what's on Wattpad right now. Once the rough draft on Wattpad is done, I will be working on 7 to revamp it because it will be published on Amazon. So maybe that could be part of the $5 thing, is like weekly chapters or weekly updates to it. I don't know. See, now I'm starting to think it's dumb. So that's the issue I'm having. It's like with Patreon. I have no idea what I'd do with Patreon either. In fact, Buy Me a Coffee is really no different than Patreon or Ko-Fi. All 3 of them have a lot of the same similarities to it. They have one-time donations or memberships, weekly membership or monthly memberships. And you can add videos, you can add blog posts, you can create tiers. There's a lot of things you can do with all 3 of them. And I don't know. I don't know if I can put a dollar amount to what I do. And that's why I focus mostly on AdSense and affiliates. Wouldn't mind doing more sponsored posts, but like I said, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm anal. I won't be posting anything that I don't approve on my website just to make a buck. Like, I don't believe in buying subscribers or Twitter followers or any of that nonsense. I rarely ever involve myself in, like, the writing community has the writers lift, and where you post your links and then everybody follows each other and it's all a big community. That's fine. I don't participate a lot of times in those because I want somebody to follow my accounts because they like the content I create. If you don't like it, don't follow it. And I don't do the whole follow for follow stuff because it makes you look good on the numbers. I mean, having somebody follow you just because you follow them, they're not your target audience. They don't give a rat's ass what you sell. They're just there to get the number. And at that point, it's why worry about it? So that's part of why I don't do that kind of stuff. Is they're not my target audience. I'm a big fan of focusing on your target audience. That's why I hate it when people who seemingly don't do wrong things start apologizing just so they can make everybody happy. Like I tell everybody, you can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time. It's impossible. Focus on your target audience. That's who you should impress. Not for $5. It's only to support what you are already doing. We are learning from your technical expertise for free. Preach. Yeah. Well, that's see, and that's part of it, Queen Adams. I don't mind doing it for free because you are learning from it. If I can help anybody learn and understand something, then that's all I care about. So really, I don't know what more I could do for an extra $5. I guess part of that's how I was raised, because like when I was raised in my teen years and before, if I wanted something, I had to bust ass for it. Like I remember busting ass in my grandma's house for $5. That was doing the yard, weed eating, and taking out the trash. It's like whole ordeal for $5. Now that was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Well, we'll say 35. But I don't know, if I try to ask somebody for $5 a month, it makes me feel like I'm letting you guys down because I don't have anything to give you. That's how I am. And so like when I see these videos of Twitch thoughts on like begging people for subscriptions in Twitch, or how a lot of these people put so much effort to get your money, and just all I can think to myself is why would I want to pay that money? What are you giving me in return? Because I really don't need to think that way anymore. Like I've lived in poverty most of my life, and it wasn't until just recently where I started getting things back together. Like the computer center used to make a ton of money. I was making in excess of $5,000 a month. And that was before I was writing. That was just from the computer stuff. And that was just from one client. That wasn't including the online sales. We had an eBay store. We had the storefront. I had one client was giving me $5,000 a month. Things were looking good. And then everything just, long story short, everything shut down and it crushed my soul. And so that was the only time I ever, well, I can't say that because I did work for the federal government when I was younger. But for the most part, I've lived well below the poverty line. And like right now, like I said earlier, is that as long as my bills are paid, I don't know what it's worth, $5. So yeah. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I used to make so much money. And then I would share it. It wasn't just me. I wasn't just bringing in $5,000-$6,000 a month. That was the computer center. And I would be sharing it with 3 other households to make sure that their bills were paid. And so I would pay their rent, I would pay their water, I'd make sure everything they had was taken care of. So I was able to make $5,000 a month stretch pretty thin. But everybody was taken care of. That's all that mattered. And everything was working good, and we were starting to increase, and then shit hit the fan. At the speed of light, with a thud and a splatter sound. It wasn't good. And I'm still working on that. Mentally destroyed me because I put my heart and soul into that business. It was my everything. And then it's been taking me a long time to get over that. Your channel is one of the few that doesn't smell like greed and corporate corruption. Well, yeah, I am uncorruptible because I don't care. I don't need the money. Like I said, I don't need to drive a sports car. If I don't agree with your message or if I don't like your product, I'm going to tell you, nah, I'm going to pass. And that's probably why I haven't had any sponsorships on the channel ever, is because I get approached, but they're from people I don't like. Brands that don't really make sense, like for writing. One brand wanted to pay me for promoting their video editing software. I'm like, I do writing. What the hell does my audience want with video editing? So you could offer feedback on one of their orders. Diana nailed it. Yeah. Yeah, I could. I don't know. I just, yeah. But the one, yeah, the one with the video editing, it just didn't make sense. And they wanted to pay me decent for it. They were going to give me free software and everything. I'm like, why? If I can't sell something, I don't know. Relevance, people. I'm a writer. Like if Grammarly want to throw money at me, you bet your ass I'd promote them. Or Pro Writing Aid. Oh yeah, I'll push it because that involves writing. That's what my channel is about. Thanks, Joseph. I try. Yep, Diana is awesome. She's awesome, and I appreciate every week that she's here. So. And that's one of the biggest compliments I get actually on YouTube, is that I'm not trying to peddle some product. I don't just give half-baked answers and then tell you, oh, you can learn more by buying my ebook or whatever like that. And see, that's what I like, is that I'm not driven by greed. I'm more likely to tell corporations to sit and spend than take their money. But like I said, it depends. Grammarly, if you're listening, oh yeah, throw money at me. I'll promote it. I'll push it. I like it. I use the product every day. Same with Pro Writing Aid. Text Broker. Yeah. I don't know, because mostly I help text broker authors, not necessarily the client side of it. I've done both, so who else would I might work with Canva, because I do use Canva for a lot of graphic stuff for the blogs. So that I might do. WordPress stuff, anything related to WordPress. Oh yeah, like Yoast. If Yoast want to throw money at me, yeah. Oh yeah. I would do it for free plugin. I'm a simple man. But yeah, in the end, I'm still trying to come up with something that's worth $5 a month. And I don't know. I want it to be something cool. Like with the when I hit 500 subscribers, I did how much was it? I think it was a $25 gift card to Amazon. No, Barnes & Noble. That's what it was. It was a 25 or 50. Might have been a 25. A $25 gift card to Barnes & Noble. And I ran all you had to do is go to my website and tell me what types of videos you liked most and make sure I had your email address so I could let you know. And yeah, that's all I didn't even build an email list out of it. I just wanted to know what people thought of the channel. So I sent out an anonymous winner. They requested to be anonymous, so I sent out the anonymous winner the code for Amazon, Barnes & Noble, because the way it works is that you buy it, you email the code, and then you send the gift code to whoever. And so I hope they found it and didn't think it was trash. I think I need to change the email address on it. I'm using inquiry@writersanctuary.com, and that might be flagging people's spam filters. So I don't know, I'll have to check that out. Channel is what it is, I guess. What you made it for, understandable. Yeah, I use Grammarly for everything. It comes in all the time for a bunch of things. Oh, right? I love it. I'm a big fan of Grammarly. I tried to sign up with Grammarly on Share a Sale years ago when I first started Writer Sanctuary. Now, at that point, I think I had maybe 20 articles on it, and if you look at some of my older stuff, yeah, you could probably understand why they turned me down. But it's been in denied status for like 4 years, more than 5, 6. Wow, it's been a long time since I signed up with that. Okay, so it's still in denial. So there's no way to repeal that in ShareASale. And so I tried to contact them directly on their website. Haven't heard back from them. So, like, bummer. Because, yeah, I'd be happy. Even if just adding as an affiliate, I would try to do it directly. No. But that's okay. Pro Writing Aid allowed me to sign up with them. And so I have those banners on my website now. And it's a good product. I like Pro Writing Aid. A lot of it goes way deep into detail compared to Grammarly. So it's really cool. Saves me on things and optimizes my time. Does that too? Oh yeah. I try to get my writers to use it. Like, I would love it. One of them does. I would love it if all my writers used it on the blogs that I have to edit, because it would save me so much freaking time. How do you not? Don't get me started. I'm going to make a list of the top 10 things that writers do to me on a weekly basis, and I'll make a video on it. But it's like some of the most insane stuff that you'd think that would be, how can you miss that? But anyway, my point is that if all my writers used it, it'd make my day so much easier. And one of them does. He's a much younger writer. He went to school for something else entirely, so he was never really trained as a writer in any way. But over the past 2 years, I've turned him into one of my better writers. And so he went ahead and installed Grammarly on his browser so that he could fix his stuff before he sends it in to me, which is great. There's a few things I still have to tweak because no scanning system is 100%, but it's still a hell of a lot better than some of the other stuff I have to read on a daily basis. People, if you gotta slow down and proofread your stuff. Like, I get when you're in a hurry. I've been in a hurry. Doing text broker, striving for 10,000 words a day, yeah, I've pushed my limits. But I always took the time to proofread my stuff and to make sure the sentences were capitalized in proper capitalization in proper nouns. It doesn't take that much. I don't know. I get frustrated, especially when I'm tired. My God. Slow down. Now, you don't need to proofread things like 20 times before you submit it, but at least give it once or twice over. And I get it. Like, when you're editing your own stuff, your brain's already trained to know that that's how it's supposed to work. And so there's a lot of things you gloss over when you try to proofread immediately after writing a particular article. That's why sometimes it's better to wait till the next day to proofread, because then it's a fresh outlook on it and you'll find all kinds of errors that you missed the day before. But so your brain's already trained to do that. And when you're on production, you don't have time to wait until the next day. And so you got to do as best you can, submit and cross your fingers. So I get that. Sometimes things slip past you. But there's some things that even I will catch. Like, I can understand the your, it's and it's with the apostrophes. Because sometimes even I still to this day will miss them. And Diana points it out to me. But there's some things that are just blatantly obvious that you can get no matter who you are. And I will do that video probably next week, because I have to create a list of, I'm going to go through everything I fix and find the top 10 things that I fix on a daily basis. Or, well, let's go with a weekly basis, because I only edit 3 or 4 articles a day, and then I write 2 or 3 myself. And so I'll have to do it throughout the entire week, but I'll do a top 10 of things that you need to keep an eye on. Most importantly, you're just good at what you do. Absolutely. I'm really good at what I do. And I keep telling my friend here, is that I am so worth more than what I'm getting paid. It's all good. I'm just glad I can do my part. Like, I love the company I work for. I miss going to work camps. I loved doing that. I love interacting with people. I'm not a very good salesman, and that's probably why they stopped letting me go to them, because I don't push hard to make a sale. I just like the engagement, and I like to pique people's interest about what we do and get the ball rolling. But I'm not pushy. I'm not a pushy salesman, and I think that's what they wanted. So, but still, I love the company. I understand they need money, so I'm not heartbroken over it. And with this current pandemic, I can understand why no one's going to word camps, except for virtually. And I really miss doing them. It was a lot of fun. Last year was great. I went to Kansas City, Omaha. I did one here in Denver. Where else did I go? I think it was just those three: Omaha, Kansas City, Denver. And I was supposed to go to St. Louis, but I had a charity event that weekend, so I couldn't go to St. Louis for the big word camp. So that was kind of a bummer, but yeah. Wow, that was a tangent. That had nothing to do with blogging. Well, I guess it kind of did. It was related. It was about WordPress. So does that count? Well, I am. Oh, people. I don't know. There's days where I can't say that there's days where I feel lost, because I love what I do. I think my biggest problem right now isn't that I'm depressed or that I feel like a failure or anything like that. It's the fact that I didn't turn on my light. Long story. But it's the fact that I'm tired. I think that if I got a better bed, that I would be more on the ball. Start drinking some sleepy time tea. Oh yeah, see, sleepy time tea. I'm a big fan of sleepy time tea. It puts me down, like especially sleepy time with echinacea. Another product I would endorse if they're watching. But I tried doing 2 bags once when I was in LA, and it knocked me out for like 12 hours. I slept through my alarm. I was gone. So I'm gonna drink some of that tonight. I'm gonna try to get back into drinking that because it helps me. And so I guess we'll find out. That'd be great, because like in the mornings as a freelancer, if your mind isn't on the ball, or if you're feeling like mush, it is so hard to stay motivated. And so there's times today where I'm just like vegging out on the screen and my mind just blank. Like I have no idea what I was doing, and I'd have to stop, reread what I just did. What tea? Sleepy time with echinacea. Has the bear on it. Here, I'll show you. Ooh, break. Oh, hey, look, I could probably just do this. Which one? Window capture? No. Why didn't it? It's not pulling up the other one. That's not what I want to do. I forgot to add another one. Window. Sure, let's name it Capture 3. There we go. Then boom. Okay, what the hell? Oh. Did it do it as a different resolution? I think it did. That is so not what I wanted to do, but oh well. Okay, anyway. Sleepy. Wow, that was way off. Sleepy time tea. Celestial seasonings. There we go. This stuff is awesome. See, I got this here, but I got the echinacea. Do they have the one with echinacea in it? Echinacea. Yeah, that's how I spell it. Okay, just choose it. Oh, there we go. Let's see. What else? I do like celestial seasonings, so where is it? Ooh, matcha. I don't have celestial seasonings matcha, but I do have regular matcha here, and I can't remember what brand it is, but it's good. There's sleepy time. Oh, there we go. Immune boost. Echinacea. Wow, I spelled it way off. This stuff here will knocks me right the hell out. Like, I tell you, I thought 2 bags was going to be bad. Like, I thought, it's not going to affect me at all. So I went ahead and loaded up 2 bags of that when I was in LA. And it did. It put me out for 12 hours. So I just use the 1 bag now, like chai milk tea. I don't know if I like the idea of putting milk in my tea. Like, I put milk in my coffee sometimes. It depends. But in tea, I don't know. I've heard people do it. I don't know. I guess because before I drank a lot of black tea and Earl Grey, and I just don't know if I can do milk in it with tapioca pearls. Isn't that fish eggs? No, that's caviar. Tapioca. I don't know. I'm basic. I've heard a lot of people like chai tea, which is fine. I'm pretty easy. I like Earl Grey mostly. But the echinacea, the sleepy time, I've got like 4 boxes of it in the kitchen. So I'm gonna go back to drinking that. I bet it'll make a huge difference. Like, I was what is today? Is today Monday or Tuesday? It's Monday. What's I doing on, was it yesterday? Oh yeah. Sunday. I wound up getting like 7 hours of sleep for the first time in like 3 weeks. And that was in a good mood all day. So I'm hoping to reclaim some of that. I drink it iced tea. I'm not a big fan of iced tea. There's a couple of, like, I like Long Island iced teas. But as for regular teas, I like most of my drinks hot, especially coffee. It's like I was telling Magdalena Helen that even if it was 106 degrees outside, I'll still get hot coffee. What kind of books do I read? I like to read a lot of fantasy and horror, my favorite. My first book that I remember reading on my own was Jaws, and I was 8 when I read Jaws. And then I turned into a Stephen King fan because that's what my dad was huge in Stephen King. And so he had every book Stephen King ever wrote. And so naturally I emulated my dad and became a Stephen King fan. My mom is inspired by Stephen King. I also like Dean Koontz. Her book is on the bookshelf there, but it's similar. So, bubble tea. I've never heard of bubble tea. But then again, I don't drink tapioca pearls in my tea. But yeah, I do like fantasy books. Like, I loved Night of the Black Rose, and it was a Dungeons and Dragons based book in Ravenloft about Lord Soth. That was a really good book. Strahd was a good one. What else? Oh, God, wow. Most of the stuff I read is Stephen King and Dean Koontz. Lately, it's been tutorials and instruction manuals and how-tos. And I started reading Mom's book, which is Defiant Souls. That's my mom's book. Here we go. I'll show you. Okay. So, this is my mom's book, Defiant Souls. And I started reading it. It's you can definitely tell that she's at least inspired by Stephen King's style. It's not really, she's not trying to copy him, but you can definitely tell it's the same flow to it. I love the smell of books. But yeah, it's my mom's book. And this is the first Stephen King book I ever read. In fact, it's the exact copy that I read when I was 11 years old. Dad was having a yard sale and was trying to get rid of all of his books. And I saw that sitting there and I about shit my pants. I'm like, you ain't selling that. It's mine. this bad boy. I read this one. I read this one 3 times and the uncut twice, and I can't find my uncut version of it, which was a hardback. I might have lost that when I left Utah a long time ago. But yeah, it's my mom's and my 2 favorite books. And I can't find my other books that I have. I lent Night of the Black Rose out and I haven't seen that ever since. Neither did the Ravenloft short stories that I had. Those are gone too. God, I haven't seen that book in years. So I stopped lending books out. And then the rest of the stuff is, well, games. So at some point, I would love to be able to square away some time to where I can actually enjoy a book. I was going to try and start reading. Oh, I started reading Mom's book like right before I went to bed, but that was right before our rental landlord was deciding he wanted to sell the house from under us and was kicking us out in the middle of a pandemic. So we had to struggle to get this place, but let's go because we bought this one. But I was starting to read that book when all this happened, and too many things happened all at once, so I didn't really get a chance to put more effort into reading it. So I'm hoping we can change that in the near future. Have I read Game of Thrones? I haven't. I really want to watch the HBO adaptation to it because I like watching the movies before reading the book. I'm kind of backwards that way. That's why I watched the Harry Potter movies, and now I kind of want to read the books to it. The Game of Thrones, and I do want to start The Witcher. So there's like a lot of stuff that is on my to-do list if I ever get me time again. God, there's another one too that I wanted to look at. I can't think offhand. Game of Thrones I hear is really freaking good though, so I'm really looking forward to reading those. Really looking forward to building up my damn library again. Not that I had a really big library to begin with. Oh, maybe one of these days I'll be able to add my own book to it. Okay, so here's something I wanted to ask. I watching a video or something on Twitter or something? I remember seeing something about how it's vain to have a copy of your own book on a bookshelf behind you when you're on video. Do you think that is true? I mean, that is like my all-time goal, is to have my name on a book. And I wouldn't like point to it every time. I'd probably do one video of here it is and then put it up and probably never mention it again. I just like the idea of having my name on a book. So, wow, my screen just did weird stuff. Either that or my eyes did. Michael, do you believe in the paranormal? I kind of get the feeling you do. I do, actually. In fact, I've got a lot of stuff relating to the paranormal. I was doing an EVP, or I was doing something at 3 o'clock at night, and I was at that point I was living in a trailer where a guy named Michael died before we actually rented it. And there's some weird stuff going on, so I decided, I'll stay up all night and try to talk to this ghost. And so I used my computer, set up the microphone, and I would ask questions, and then I'd go through and listen closely to see if there was anything on the recording. And this one breaks my heart. 3:30 in the morning, I am exhausted, I'm tired. But I finally got the EVP I was looking for. It told me to go to bed. Like, holy shit. And I was like shaking so bad. I was all excited. I wanted to save it. I wanted deleting it on accident, and it was like crushing. I'd say it's credentials. Credentials for what am I missing? Yeah, Stephen King is the bomb. Yes, I love Stephen King. Wow, I'm like way behind. What happened to all these? I'm sorry, guys. Stephen King is the bomb. Have you read Game of Thrones? I love Stephen King as well. How did I miss those? You believe in the paranormal? Wow. How did I know? Probably, I don't know. I probably exude that aura, I guess. A book on the shelf? Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. Duh. Okay, yeah. So I guess it would be credentials. Sorry. Any other paranormal stories? Oh, I've got tons. I have, like that scene from Ghostbusters, I have seen shit that would turn you white. Actually, my whole family has been surrounded by it, so I think it's the skeleton models and moon phases poster. And actually, if you look closely, that's not a moon. That's a space station. But the skeletons, though, the skeletons are my daughter's. She has a thing for collecting the skeleton creatures that you get at like Dollar Tree and all that. So there's like a dog and a cat and a rat. That's her dragon. Okay, so the skeleton cup is my Halloween cup. That's why I drink coffee and hot chocolate out when I'm doing live streams during Halloween on Twitch. I'll drink out of that. That's my skull cup. But the dragon is my daughter's, and I found my glue to fix his foot so I can give it back to her. And she went through and put every skeleton she had in the house in every different room. So like my closet. So walk-in closet, my own personal domicile. Walk into my closet and there's a dog skeleton staring at me. I walk into the kitchen and there's a cat skeleton standing next to the cat dish. I'm like, that's kind of morbid, Hanukkah. So, let's see. Paranormal Stories. Okay, let's see. There was one. Think of a good one. There was one where my aunt Sandy was at a seance and she got possessed. She doesn't like to talk about it. Oh, that's a horrible one. Made her cry. It still fucks her up to this day. I don't think anything's happened at this house yet. Oh, my grandma. There's a good one. Oh, I thought it looked a bit odd. Yeah. Yeah, it's a space station. It's a Star Destroyer, or not Star Destroyer. It's a Death Star. Anyway, my grandma Brockbank died when I was in Job Corps. I was about 16, and she died from pancreatic cancer. Thank you, Michael. Got a direct order due in a few hours, so gotta go, my friend. See you next time. Well, thank you for stopping by, Queen Adams, and good luck with your direct order. And I hope it all works out for you. Thank you for stopping by. But my grandma died, and there's two instances of something around my grandma. So I'll start with the first one. And I was staying at my mom's house at the time, and I went to my friend Joe's. And this was about 6 months after my grandma died. And I came home from Joe's house, and my mom tells me that my grandma called and said she'd call back later. I'm like, Grandma who? Because at that point, my grandma Buckbank died, but my grandma Helms was still alive. And so, let's see, where was I? Oh, so I was like, Grandma who? And she said, Grandma Brockbank. I'm like, Grandma Brockbank's been dead for like 6 months. And Mom didn't know, so she was freaking out. Somebody called my house looking for me, saying that they're my grandma and they'd call back. Never did. And Mom recognized the voice, so I don't know if it was someone being morbid or what, but it was pretty freaky. And then about a year after Grandma's death, I was really, really close with my Grandma Brockbank, by the way. She's the one that got me into computers. She got me into programming. I was 9 when I was writing my first programs in BASIC on the Commodore 64. So I was really close with my grandma. And about a year afterwards, I'm staying with Dad at this point. I've had a really checkered childhood. And I had a dream where Grandma pulled up in the car. She had this black Firebird. She pulled up the car and got out and was telling me that everything is going to be all right. And then I woke up. So I don't know if that's just paranormal or my mind playing tricks on me or what, but the phone call part was a little bit freaky. Mom was like convinced it was grandma, so it was pretty cool. Pretty wild. We do. There's like my mom wants me to get back to Utah because there's a alien or not alien. Yeah, there's an alien burial ground. There's an Indian burial ground that they go to. That's pretty haunted. Where I used to work in Sterling was pretty haunted. That one there'd be like all kinds of weird noises throughout the night. You really have to see the movie Grandma's Boy. I just know you'll love it. There's a ghost scene. Nice. Oh, you were telling me about that before too. That's one of those, yeah, because we were talking, that was right before you pointed out how much younger you are than I am. That was kind of yeah, it made me feel old. Because you also like the white chicks. So, yeah. That's just one I can think of offhand. We've got pictures in my dad's old house of cool wispy, not just orbs, but the lines going through the camera, the picture and stuff. So, yeah, I'm all for the paranormal because, well, I love exploring the not really unexplored. I like the paranormal. Just leave it at that. My friend's house, Craig's house, was haunted as hell. We're sitting in his living room, and this was back when I was 15 or 16. And we're sitting in the living room, and a rumble comes from underneath the floor, underneath our friend Gary's feet, which is on the corner of the house, from his feet to the center of the room, and then stopped. They don't have a basement, so there's no way for anybody to get underneath it, and it sounded like somebody was pounding on the floor underneath, and it was scared the shit out of Gary. You think alien abductions are real? Okay, so here's my take on aliens. Well, I'll get to the abductions here in a second, but all of these alien crash landings, they kind of, I don't know, they kind of rub me the wrong way, because I'm thinking, if you're an alien species, and you have the technology to go from one star system to another, how the hell do you keep crashing into this rock? Do you not see it coming? I know the planet is huge and all, but if you're flying towards us and you don't have the technology to tell you that you can't get near our atmosphere without plunging to your death, and there's something wrong. I mean, I'm not impressed by an alien species that can't miss this rock. Okay, anyway, so I don't think there's as many crash landings as people would like to believe. Either that or aliens are stupid. But alien abductions, I'm not really sure. There's been a few times where I've read or saw on documentaries of some that looked like they might be real, but then I'm more of, I guess I'm also human, but I start thinking, what would be the purpose of that? I'm too much of a scientist. I've been trying to break down why an abduction would matter to an alien species, and so there's some times where I'm thinking, no. No, but there are a lot of unexplained things that happen. So, like turning cows inside out. Cows turn themselves inside out all the time. So, I don't know if I believe in all alien abductions, because there's a couple that sound more like schizophrenia, and having the background that I do, that I've seen a lot of schizophrenic episodes that are kind of like the same lines. So, but there are some that cannot be explained, and there's some things that I don't know. It'd have to be a case by case basis. My dad watch the Fire in the Sky. He said that was amazing. Makes him think, because I don't believe that we are the only intelligent species in the universe. You have to be pretty naive to think otherwise. In fact, I don't think this is our first dance on this planet. Earth has a habit of erasing itself every 25,000 years, and so I can't say it's a belief, but I have a suspicion that this isn't the first time that humans have reigned on this planet. Yeah, it's like if you can lift cows off the ground, why would you just drop them in a random field, right? The only way I could think is like if they pick up a cow and drop it somewhere else, they're doing it on purpose. Who's to say that aliens can't be dicks? I mean, yeah, they have superior. You can't really say superior intelligence. They have superior technology. Doesn't mean that they can't be Beavis and Butthead, you know? And like Stephen Hawking, one thing I do disagree with Stephen Hawking is how he was saying that an alien species would never come here to eat us. I'm like, why not? Because compared to a deer, we are a superior form of life. And so we still hunt them and eat them. What makes humans so much different to an alien species? We are way less than they are. So why wouldn't they want to hunt us and eat us? So I don't know. I disagree with that. I think that a violent hunter nature is still prevalent, regardless of how many eons have passed. Like human nature, we're kind of still young compared to like an alien species that come up with a technology for interplanet travel. But we still have a lot of our caveman instincts still ingrained. So, what do you think of Atlantis and Lemuria? Atlantis. Well, they took it to a different world in the Pegasus galaxy. Love Stargate. Atlantis. I think that made me laugh. Atlantis. I don't know. I do. There's been a few. I mean, we know more about our immediate solar system than we know about our ocean. There's a lot of things that are buried down there, and like there's been evidence of weird sounds. There was one about the BP oil spill where that giant freaking shark went in front of the camera. That was freaky. So stuff like that, I believe, is still down there. As for Atlantis itself, I don't know, because like with nowadays, you would say Atlantis was just somebody with Photoshop or Premiere or with After Effects trying to make a name for themselves and troll the world. But when Plato starts talking about it, and Socrates, you'd think, maybe it did exist, and it could have been wiped out. Like with Krakatoa. When Krakatoa blew up, it wiped out the entire island chain. So something like Atlantis could have existed and got wiped out just as easily. There's things that can wipe out this planet in a blink of an eye. Like if the Yellowstone caldera decided to detonate, that'd be the end of the United States and half the world. It'd be a nuclear winter afterwards. But you don't mess with supervolcanoes. And so something like that is plausible, especially like I said with Krakatoa or Mount St. Helens, if you want to get more current. Mount St. Helens, when it blew, my uncle said it covered everything in Portland was covered in ash, and it was bad. And that was just one small mountaintop that blew. And so I don't see it being so far-fetched that Atlantis couldn't exist at one point. I don't know where it's buried, but if there's intelligent life elsewhere in the universe, why haven't they contacted us? Well, let me ask you this. How often do you contact ants? We're not worth it. Especially if you look at us nowadays. If you're an alien species and you're in a ship and you come to the planet now, in the middle of a pandemic with half the people not believing there's a pandemic and the other half adamantly trying to protect themselves. And right now, you got to admit, the world's a mess. So if I was an alien species, I'd probably just chalk this one up to, we'll come back in a little while. Let shit settle first. It's true there are thousands of unidentified species living here on Earth. Earth is a pretty fascinating place. Yeah. And we keep coming up, we keep finding new stuff all the time. And that's one thing that bothers me with climate change. Whether you believe climate change is man-made or not, it's happening. The permafrost in Russia is melting to the point where an oil tank spilled and encompassed a 350 square kilometer area. The ice sheets are melting at an alarming rate. Everybody's setting heat records. Siberia had its hottest month ever recorded in the hundreds. And climate change is happening. And when you start pulling back all that ice that has covered the planet for the past 3, 4, 5,000 years, and you start releasing some of those dormant spores and shit, who's to say we're not going to come across something that's far more dangerous than anything we've ever seen? So, I don't know. We have built up an immunity to certain things as a species, and humans. When you start unleashing something we've never adapted to, it could wipe us out. And like, I wish I could remember the documentary. They were showing how the glaciers in Peru were pulling back, or melting, and underneath the ice sheet there was green living plants that came back. So they're plants that haven't seen the light of day in 1,600 years. So that's pretty cool. A goldfish, you can freeze a goldfish and it will thaw and be swimming the next summer. So there's all kinds of stuff on this planet that we're not aware of. That's an assumption, but it's also an educated guess. So you assume that aliens are more intelligent than us? I wonder why everyone thinks that. No, remember I said I can't really say intelligent. Superior technology. There's a difference. We can have, I bet there's all kinds of idiot aliens, which are probably the ones that keep smashing into the planet. But I don't know. There's a big difference between intelligence and book smarts. You can be an astrophysicist and still be stupid when it comes to interacting with people on the street. So they're not the same thing. It's like with people are all worried about the intelligent quotient, your IQ. An IQ is just a measure to show how well you adapt to problem solving. It has nothing to do with how well you'll learn. It's just how well can you solve a problem. So I don't know if there, I bet you there's a lot of aliens out there that are probably, yeah, I bet questionable. Yeah. Do you think aliens have a trailer park? Maybe Earth is aliens' trailer park. I don't know. But we have all kinds of stuff in this galaxy alone that has potential. So I don't know, like the WoW signal. That still, I love looking that up. I have seen some stuff. There was one time where my cousin and I were walking home and a triangle flew over top of our head and it had a rounded top. And for the longest time, no one believed us. It hovered right over the houses. We booked it back to his house. And I can remember it clear as day. I can draw it for you. It had lights on all three corners. And I didn't think anything of it after a while. About 20 years later, I am playing around on, I think it was YouTube, and I saw somebody with a videotape of that exact ship that I saw when I was 12 or 13. And it's like, holy crap, I'm not the only one. Maybe it was real. It was really interesting. And the aurora, back when I was in my 20 or 21, I was living in Wyoming, and there was a pulse type engine that went over top of the Bridger Valley area, a little bit farther out. But the contrail was pulses, and everybody thought it was all aliens and stuff. I'm like, no, that was actually the Aurora. It's an experimental aircraft. I don't think it's been released yet, but it has a pulse type engine and it's fast. But yeah, we had that go over our house. That was pretty cool. I'm just confused as why we don't have more concrete evidence of their existence is all. Hysteria. I think a lot of it is probably church related. If aliens came down and said, "Here we are," it would cause mass hysteria. People would lose their mind, and it would be worse than Heaven's Gate or any of those cult issues have ever been. Which I think is probably why the newer Pope is all about aliens. He's been mentioning how he's been introducing the belief in aliens, so I'm thinking they're probably working with the church to get people prepared for it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. It's just suppressed. You have to look into it for yourself. So Area 51 is legit? Yes. I used to live near it. I don't know if they have the whole technology thing like in Independence Day, but Area 51 is where the SR-70, the SR-71 was designed there. The F-117A stealth fighter came from the Skunk Works in Area 51. So we have a lot of technology that comes out of Area 51. Now I can't say that it's all alien based, but there is some high tech secret shit going on there. That's the thing. Fermi Paradox. Huge universe, no evidence anywhere. Some explanations are the universe is too radioactive for life like us, and developmental timelines don't coincide with us. See, I don't know if I really believe in that. In the grand scheme of things, the universe is in the grand scheme of things, Earth has been here in a blink of an eye compared to the rest of the universe. So just because we can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. 500 years ago, we didn't know about half of the periodic table. So, the Fermi Paradox really just doesn't sit right with me. It never has. Wait, seriously? About the Pope and aliens? Yes. I can't remember if it was the most recent Pope or the one before him, but one of them were talking about aliens. So that's why I'm thinking that they're preparing for people to come down. So I have to look into this. See, now I'm curious. I can't remember what Pope it was. I don't think it was Pope Francis. Oh, holy shit. There we go. Pope Francis. I was right. Baptize aliens, Pope Francis transcript of article. So this was back in 2015. What I mean is, did the Gov actually hide alien bodies there? That one video, that's Pope Francis, by the way. There was one video that came out where they did a alien autopsy, and it looks real, but I don't know. I don't know, because I wasn't there, but I wrote a story about it. Predator and Prey is actually based on the Roswell crash. It's just a short story I did for Wattpad, but yeah. That was the claim that they hid alien bodies there. There's been a few other claims above an alien facility in Arizona, and I think that is like the biggest one that I watched recently. Can't really say recently. I think it was last year that I watched it, but yeah, that was the claim. Especially since like when Roswell happened. At first they came out and were calling it an unidentified flying object, and they were all, it looked like an alien crash, and then immediately they switched stories. So that's what prompted a lot of the conspiracy. So I don't know, I can't say yay or nay. I am too much of a scientist. I go by empirical evidence that I'm able to confirm. So now I can talk about personal experience, because whether you believe it or not, it is true to me. And so, but for something I've never experienced before, and all I can do is base my information on what I've seen, I don't know, to be honest. I would need more evidence either way to sway my to sway my opinion on it. I have seen a lot of things that could relate to it. I've had quite a few experiences that do lend a little bit of a belief to it. But when it comes to hiding alien bodies in Roswell, I can see why and how they're capable of doing something like that, simply because of Area 51 is one of the most guarded locations in America. You can't even get anywhere near the fence without them knowing about it. I mean, it's crazy. They are strict. You even drive close and just get out of your car to take pictures, and you have a number of people staring at you waiting to see what you do. So it gets pretty hairy. And so like the whole Facebook thing, I think it was last year, the year before, where they like storm Area 51. They were going to rush into Area 51 and unveil the truth. Yeah, how'd that work out? There's a reason why that's never happened, because those guys have no qualms with mowing you down. So good luck with that. But I still have a firm belief that the reason why we haven't seen more evidence on Earth is because it would cause mass hysteria. As a species, we are not prepared for stuff like that. And that's part of what drives some of the stories that I write. So, yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, to answer your question from earlier, definitely into the paranormal. Like mental attributes. I love studying about witchcraft, demonology, different religions that kind of pique my interest. I'm not a religious guy, but I love reading about the different beliefs. Some of them are pretty interesting and intricate. Not a big fan of Mormons. Yeah, pretty much anything that's paranormal. So, ghosts. Love ghosts though. I love going to haunted places. So I'm hoping to do some of that this year. Well, pandemic aside. So, wow. That took a turn. We were talking about blogging at the very beginning of this video. Now we're reaching into the inner depths of the universe. I wonder how many people I offended. We did have 7 concurrent viewers. At one point, we're down to 4. Oh well. That's one thing that I will stay true to, is that your target audience are the people who are going to support you no matter what. They like your stuff, they like what you do, they like what you say, they like what they stand for. That's your target audience. I'm not going to apologize for going off on a tangent. Sometimes I will, simply because I get it. I'm tired, and you're probably like, shut up and go to bed. So, stuff like that, yeah. But my beliefs, nah, I'm not going to apologize for that. If we're not prepared for aliens, then why do we believe in a god? I don't know. Can you really correlate the two? If we're not prepared for aliens, then why do we believe in a god? I think a lot of people believe in a god. Well, see, wow, we dropped even more. Guess I'm not. Really interesting. I think a lot of people believe in a god so that they can explain what they can't explain. So instead of not having an answer, they chalk it up to divine intervention, because it's an easy way to explain something that doesn't have a meaning. Like 1,000 years ago, a lot of stuff was attributed to divine power, even though nowadays we know it's science. So I think a lot of people do jump on that bandwagon simply because it does give them security, it makes them feel good, and gives them answers, which is fine. I have no problem with people believing in God. It's when they come to my house and try to preach, do I know the truth? That's a punch in the eye. No, yeah. I am a scientist. I'm too much of a scientist. I am agnostic. I'm not an atheist. I am not adverse to a higher power of some kind. I just haven't seen it yet. So there's way too much that goes on in the world for me not to have some idea of something extra going on. Now, is it some guy sitting on a cloud making things happen? I don't know. But I can't justify saying that there's absolutely nothing there and that when you're dead, you're dead, because I have witnessed too many things myself to really fall into that. So that's where I stand on it. Yeah. I think, well, it is almost 9. I think it's about time for me to wrap it up. I think we ramble on too much. Uh-oh. The existence of hell is much scarier than aliens. Yeah. Am I still alive? I don't know, because Michelle's doing weird stuff here. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Weird. So I don't know what happened, but I think Comcast is giving me grief. Anyway. I think we're going to wrap it up. As an existence of hell is much scarier than aliens. I don't know, because that's a hard one. I don't know if I'm really afraid of aliens. Definitely not. I like when something weird happens in the house, instead of like running away from stuff like that, I actually try to talk to the ghost or spirit. Because I bet most of the time they just want someone to listen to them. So I'll talk. I don't run from what I don't know. So with an alien, I don't know, it'd be kind of freaky to get abducted, but I think I'm the type of person that would keep my cool. I would try to communicate, but I'm also a Star Trek fan. So anyway, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thank you for watching, everybody. Sorry that it went kind of weird. I had a good plan in an idea. So, Michael, don't ever apologize for rambling. I like your tangents. You ought to hear them when I get drinking. There's times where I feel bad because, there's a lot of people here that want to learn more about writing and stuff, and sometimes I feel like maybe I'm letting them down, or I worry too much about not necessarily what people think of me, but more that I don't want you to feel like you're wasting your time. So that's the only thing that really bugs me. And hopefully maybe I'll come up with an idea of how to do the whole monthly subscription thing, but we'll see. But I think I'm going to call it. I hope to have a video out on Wednesday and Friday. I'm probably going to start doing more blogging stuff because I'm running out of ideas for Textbooker after I do the whole process of doing an order. But I'm really focused on blogging now, especially with the Practically Living Green website, which is getting attention, obviously, real soon. I gotta get I want to get the gaming blog going again because that's how I support Extra Life and Geeks of Grandeur and Operation Supply Drop from 8-Bit Salute. I do a lot of charity work with the gaming stuff, so I want to get those sites going. Crossing Colorado, I don't know what the hell we're doing with that. I think we might play around with some keto recipes. I'm not into the keto diet, but my friend is, and she really wants to go into it. I'm not. I lose weight by not eating as much, and I've been doing a lot of exercise recently. I've lost 80 plus pounds, so that's good. Oh no, now I feel bad. Oh, why do you feel bad? I didn't mean to make anybody feel bad. See, now I want to feel bad because I made you feel bad. Why is everybody crying? That's me. I get affected by other people's emotions. So, but I don't know what didn't mean to make you feel bad. Sorry. Now I want to stress out about it. What was I talking about? Oh, I don't know. Not a clue. All right. That's my cue to be done. So anyway, I'll be doing more stuff with writing. I'm hoping to get more creative stuff going. I would love to do a few videos on self-publishing, which I really want to get into. Especially with the issues my sister had, because my sister has a book as well. She never gave me a copy. My own sister doesn't give me a copy of her book. Mom gives me a book, a poster, a coffee mug, a fridge magnet, a necklace that comes out of it because it has a real angelic symbol on it, and I think that was it. A whole slew of stuff. So my mom loads me up with swag. My sister can't be bothered to sign a book. Thanks. So I'll probably buy one and make her sign it next time I go to Utah. But she had a lot of problems with her publishing company, and that's a whole other video on its own. But I want to try doing my first book's going to be self-published, just to see how difficult it is and what it takes. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get that done as soon as I get 7 done. Now I feel bad because I enabled you going off tangent. Oh, no, that's all right. My friend usually bitches at me when she tells me to shut up. I can probably hear her right now. She's at the airport saying, "Shut up, go to bed." So it's not you. I do this a lot, which is why I have a lot of jump cuts, is because if I don't have a structure of what I'm doing for my video, I have a habit of doing a lot of repeating of myself. I stumble through words. I get sidetracked extremely easy, so it's really hard for me to focus on making a video. And I may be wasting people's time. No worries. That has nothing to do with you. That's all 100% me, so don't feel bad. If people don't want to watch, they'll leave. Obviously, some people have. So that's all good. No worries. That's like the whole reason why I do these live shows to begin with. Unless I have a topic in mind, like when I did Asana. For the most part, the whole purpose of doing these are to hang out with you guys. I love hanging out. I love chatting about random shit. So don't ever feel bad for enabling me to go on a rambling tangent. If people don't want to watch, they'll leave. It's all good. It's like we have Joel that comes by. I haven't seen Ron tonight, so I'm hoping he's okay. I know he's been having a hard time. Chris hasn't shut up. I'll have to give him crap. So it's all good. So, but anywho, I am going to call it a night because my throat is dry. I'm exhausted, and I need to do something. I was supposed to do something tonight. I can't remember what it was. God damn it. I need to sleep. I haven't slept since I left the hotel 4 months ago. Alright, anyway. Have a good evening, everybody. And I will see you next time.